It has been 5 weeks by a quirk of the calendar. Most of the time it's 4 weeks, but every now and then it's 5. So, and this was one of those times. If you bow with me, we'll have a word of prayer and then we'll move on. Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for yet another day of life. We're thankful for the opportunity to gather here tonight. We're thankful for our friends and neighbors that have joined with us. We're thankful for the folks that sit around this table and work to make this a better place to live. We're thankful to have such a good place to live, but we're also mindful that we need to continue to work to keep it that way. We pray for those that are out there working in the heat, that you'll keep them safe. We pray that you'll keep those folks safe that have to manage emergencies, respond to emergencies, and all those guys and ladies that are standing out down there tonight directing traffic at the fair. You'll be with them in the heat. We ask now that you go with us and bless us and be with us as we do our business here this evening. Forgive us our sins. Amen. Just thinking, not going to mean anything to y'all, but I was telling them inside, or in the room, my oldest son was 39 years old today, and he was born 19 minutes from now, 6:21. You always remember that, and certainly the mama does, but the dad does too. So never really thought I'd get this far along, but I did, and I'm thankful for that. Okay, we got a set of minutes from July 15, I believe is what this says. Yeah. Have y'all had a chance to look at them? Feel good about them? All right. Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second motion.
Got a motion and a second. We have any discussion? All right. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The minutes are approved. Public business, a comment. Anybody would like to address us? Now's the time. If you would come up front and give us your name and holster your weapon and Good.
Those that don't know me, I'm Rachel Scantlin. I come to you as a parent today to tell you about an incident that I witnessed that I feel like needs to be brought to the attention of the community, and that I truly believe there's got to be a simple fix. So, for those that don't know, on the morning of August 8th at around 7:20 a.m., an ambulance was called to the high school. I was sitting in the turn lane. This is kind of hard to explain, but I was sitting in the turn lane on Squatter Pike waiting to turn into the high school. We all heard an ambulance coming behind us, and the officer directing traffic at the high school immediately jumped into action, stopped all the traffic quickly. I do believe that everybody there believed that the ambulance was just going to go through traffic at that point. So none of us, including the officer directing traffic, had any idea that the ambulance was actually headed to the high school. And the ambulance didn't go around the cars by going into the lane of oncoming traffic as expected to go around everybody, because that's the way the cop had kind of froze everybody and expected him to do. Instead, the ambulance pulled right up behind the car that the traffic officer had stopped that would have went straight on up Squatter Pike. The one car in front of me, and remind y'all I'm in the turning lane turning into the high school. The car in front of me decides to go ahead and go, like get out of the way, which was probably smart. This car that was walking the ambulance went to get over in front of me, and at the exact same time, the ambulance went to cut between me and this car because nobody had a clue they were trying to get to the high school. So, So basically they almost collided. And the point was no one was aware that the ambulance was trying to get into the school. That's the main point of this. And of course, once on the school grounds, there was a school representative directing the ambulance and everything was fine. But I called and spoke to Chief Hinderlight about the unpreparedness of everyone for this type of emergency. And it was evident that the traffic officer was completely unaware that an ambulance was coming to the high school. And complete truth, to me, this is unacceptable. The Watertown police should always know when emergency vehicles are coming through the area, especially when an officer is directing traffic of all places at the high school. Because you've got 16-year-old kids that have just got their license that may or may not have been taught where to go and how to get out of the way, to be one. And if I understood Officer Hinderlot correctly, Wilson County will not share the radio channels with Watertown Police. Which most likely would have allowed the officer to be aware and better prepared and could have honestly gotten everybody out of the way. So, and also my understanding is when 911 is called, it goes to Wilson County Dispatch, but no communication is sent to the Watertown Police. Now, I may have misunderstood some of that. If I did, that's fine, but that's what I understood in the conversation. So, to me, this is unacceptable as the emergency response to one of our kids at our high school was delayed. You know, and I keep thinking it over in my head when I was considering coming to speak to you guys. It was like, but it was only a minute. But in honesty, in a minute, that could have been the life or death of one of our kids. And if the ambulance in that car, I'm telling y'all, it was close. Like, they both stopped just in the mere inches from colliding. If they had collided, it would have been that much more of a delay, because I don't even know, do we have a second ambulance that's standing by over here to take somebody if that ambulance is in a wreck? But honestly, with the front row seat, it was just too close for comfort. I felt like with all the advancements in technology that this could have been prevented with proper, I worded as processes and procedures for better preparedness, but and as a parent, I'm calling for proper processes and procedures, specifically in communications, to be better prepared in the future when emergencies arise. I really do appreciate Chief Hinderlot taking the time to speak to me on the phone, because he spoke to me in length about, because I said, how did the traffic officer not know? I mean, I know they're not even really, that's not what they're even supposed to be doing. They're doing that as a favor to the community, I guess is the way to word it, to the school to do that for us. But it was very disturbing to watch a traffic officer do his job and stop traffic, and everybody just freezes because the ambulance pulls up and expects all of us to know what to do. And then when they do try to make a decision what to do, we couldn't predict what they were about to do. So it basically almost ended up in a wreck, is the point of what I'm saying. And it could have been a lot worse than what it was. But even that minute, which it took a minute to get everybody organized, delaying emergency response to a child who, my understanding, was in desperate need. This wasn't just a simple thing. So, again, like I said, I appreciate the council's time and allowing me to voice my concern and request.
Sure.
And,
We are always here for
Right.
public comment. Let me ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind, so we
No,
can get
I'm
to the
not.
bottom. Are you saying that the communication was from the lack of communication was from the WEMA folks with the ambulance
I think
to
so.
us?
I think
Okay.
so.
That
Because-
wouldn't have gone through the sheriff's department.
Well, but that's the point, is that if you've got a Watertown officer directing traffic that's responsible to get this emergency crew through or where
Yeah.
they need to go,
Yeah,
I don't understand why the communication is not there.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing
No,
with
I
you.
know,
I'm
but
trying to
but
pinpoint
I do
where to go.
understand. Yeah, it goes to the
Okay.
county, but the county's not there at the moment, and
Well, the WEMA is in contact with Wilson County, are they not? As in like the SRO that have been there, he would have got that call like through his radio, wouldn't it?
I can't answer that. I assume they are.
I know
well,
the
I
radio.
assume the
is-
SRO was already involved and was at the scene with the student, is what you would
Okay.
think, that he
Yeah.
was probably the one that was,
They're the ones directing
Yeah.
traffic outside the school.
Well-
I mean, not on the ground, but they're like waving the
They've got a
ambulance,
school
telling
ground.
them what number to go to.
and
Okay.
this instance, it was one of the school secretaries was out front with the point was there was a school representative.
Yes,
that
there
was there
has to be,
direct them
yes.
Where they needed to go.
They've got
That
a plan
there
A,
was-
B, and C when something like
And
that
honestly,
happens.
there was, the assistant principal was not, there was literally no adults in the area, and I was grateful that the kids actually stayed where they were supposed to be on the sidewalk and let the crews get through and do what they needed to do. Even the kids acted prepared. I think that was the point, or at least had acted with some common sense, which for teenagers, that's asking a lot. But to me, in that moment, just one simple thing, just to be prepared to how to, if an ambulance is coming through, to have a plan to get them through the traffic. Because this was 7:20, everybody's trying to get to school at the last second, kids are going every direction. They're just, it's one of those situations where you don't know there's a problem until you see the problem. It's kind of what the situation was. It's not something anybody would think about or prepare for until there was a problem.
Okay.
And having a front row seat, it was pretty evident that there's gotta be some simple little thing that can be done to better prepare, because that 1 minute in that situation, or if that was a wreck, it could have been 10 or 15 minutes delayed for that child.
Sure.
And I don't want it to be my child or any of our children to be that way.
I'll see what I can find out here. You might also want to share your concern with the WEMA folks.
Okay.
The main office in Lebanon on Oak Street. Joey Cooper is the WEMA director. His children went to school at the high school, and or at least they chime on how many. But he would want to know that too, because obviously his people need to get there on time, and he's in the business of managing emergencies.
Gotcha.
If you would share that with him as well,
Absolutely.
and we'll see what we can get to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming in. You're welcome here any month. We try not to meet but once a month. We can help it.
Sit down.
Come on.
Quick.
Come on up, Mr. Dysfunctional Veteran.
Yeah. The sign that's out here for Three
Yeah.
Forks Park,
Mhm.
I volunteered this to repair it. And if anybody knows any history about it, the letters are carved onto the wood.
They are.
So I'm gonna either have to cut the letters off, put them on new wood or something, but if anybody got any ideas, you can take a look at it and let me know. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to save the letters to put on new wood, because the old wood is so rotted, that I tried the pieces that fell off. I looked at it, it's got good splintered really bad. Pieces still up there could probably be salvaged, but then you're gonna have two different colored boards.
Yeah.
So.
You
the
need
whole
to
thing
start
should-
from top to bottom. not from the
Yeah,
bottom to
so
top.
I like to read the whole thing, so just go out and take a look at it, if you got any ideas, let me know of how to get those letters, because they're gonna have to be cut out and be done, so.
I wish I knew where we got those signs, because they've been here 30-something years, probably. That sign was the same one for the two entrances that say, no alcohol, and they're faded as they can be. I'd like to see those redone too, if we knew where we got them, but I don't recall. where.
Sign graphics that we've helped before at our shop, they have a really wild rubber mat that's cut out, all the letters on it, and they sandblast that around the rubber mat, and that makes looks like it's carved out look.
Well, if we
They
can
have the
get,
other two pieces of
yeah,
this.
we've got the other sign over there, they have it at the.
So you want to save the letters, what you want to do, or?
Yeah, we'd like, because it's three-dimensional, we'd really
Yeah.
like to make it look the same, because it's the other ones, because as I've told everybody, at the end of this year, I'm done with doing anything, so I'm gonna start getting into wood. So I'll help out with projects, but I don't be in charge of anything.
John Jewell might know. Jan was probably
Jan was the
one.
one that did it.
Yeah, she's the one
She
ordered,
got-
I'm sure.
yeah, when she was on the council.
Yeah.
And that goes back 35, 36, 37 years ago.
So if you have, like I said, if you got any hints, let me know.
We'll see what we can find out there, but I've been looking from time to time, not
Yeah.
lately, but we can't find anything here where we paid the bill or,
Right. So if we can come up with an idea how to do it, I've got the basic tools for doing a lot of woodworking.
47
Okay.
years worth
So-
of that.
If we can get the letters off, I can get them to Jacob, and Jacob has a pretty wild router. I would say that he could recut us indents and put the letters back inside.
Well, that'd be great, because it's on both sides. so
That would probably
it's
get
carved
some
out
stuff.
on both sides. That would be
You
great.
got my number?
and,
Get my number after.
Yeah, I'll get you.
and I appreciate you. I know you don't want to be the lead, but I appreciate you taking the lead.
Well, little projects like that, that's fine.
Hi, ma'am, how are you?
I'm good. Sarah Goble, Chamber. So we have a couple of chamber events coming up that I wanted to go over. But first, we wanted to apologize for what happened at our last music festival with the food truck. So we, well, we want to make sure it doesn't happen again, and so we want to kind of come up with a plan that when we're inviting these food trucks to come, that we have a proper space for them to be at. And it can kind of be the same area each time, unless we're having like a big event and the square is closed. We know that we kind of have 3 spots to work with. We have we can fit 2 food trucks in front of the old city hall. And then we were gonna put 1 that sides up to the gazebo. So that would be 3 food trucks that we would plan on. But Heather, at our last chamber meeting, we kind of went over it, and Heather made the plan. And do you wanna go over it?
Yeah, I'll go over it. I created a really rough map that you can see approximate where the 3 food trucks will be parked for events. If we have 3, we might have 2, we might have 1. But this event, the Bluegrass event, will have 3.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you about that.
Yes, we're definitely always gonna talk with April, let her know ahead of time which food truck is coming, and then we also clarify with all the businesses, you know, you do, if you're inviting a food truck to come, not only do you need to let us know, but you have to let April know.
And there was never anything put in writing as food trucks go with the chamber. So I thought it would be a good idea to write something to put that in place. We had a little bit of confusion the last event because it, like I said, it was never in writing. A local business had a food truck coming on a chamber event, and that's where the 2 got.
Across the
We had
street
a
from you.
pickle.
Yeah.
So, it just, you can read along with me, I'll just kind of do it very quickly. Availability 1 to 3, and the payment after approval. They have to get approval from us, but we don't do anything without talking to Miss April. They can go to the website to apply. Payment has to be paid before. Requirements: must have a valid food truck permit and comply with local, state, and health department regulations. Watertown City food truck permit. Food trucks must supply their own equipment, and you can read the rest. Storefront invitations. This will help alleviate that. Local storefront businesses may invite food trucks, but have to be approved by the executive board. We have the right to deny anybody that you do not want there or we do not want there. We also will not compete with other local businesses in town. And then it says a brief a thing about the craft vendors that might come, but they still apply to the keeping the town clean, respectful behavior, responsibility for their own power tip and display. So that's basically something that I think we need to get final improvement and keep in the chamber bylaws.
Yes.
I have one question on that one. The generators, you're gonna have to buy their own generators?
No, they provide.
I mean, they provide.
Yes,
them.
they have
Okay.
to.
We do not provide, we
Okay,
do not
on
want
that.
them touching any outlet in the city.
Because what has
Okay.
happened in the past.
Well, no, my thing with that would be that the city put locks on all the services.
Yeah.
Because the historic, we've been paying a lot of money to have those fixed. And
Okay,
it seems like after every big event, there's an outlet broken or something, or the service panels, but if we put a lock on it, they want to use service, they can come to the city and let them know they need to buy a key, I mean, not buy it, to rent, or whatever,
so you're talking about all the electrical outlets on the poles over on the square?
Yeah, the square, because they get pretty much, they're not purposely vandalized, but people get rushed, they'll pull the cord out and break an outlet.
Okay.
And I just had my friend go through there and repair them again, and so I would suggest putting a lock on all the services. If they need to get into one, maybe the store could have a key, or you have a key here, and all the maintenance guys would have a key.
We're gonna probably have to let somebody have a key besides here because we were not here Saturday and Sunday.
No, that's what I'm saying, the store, they'd have to come on Friday and say, they have to get a key.
Okay.
Or they could come to the store or the chamber to get a key to the service, but then we know that they're there.
Okay.
And if something breaks, we know who But that's just because we're spending a lot of money repairing small things,
Okay,
so, but that'd be my suggestion for that.
all right.
So the other thing is, we know we're good in front of City Hall because nobody's allowed to park in front of there. But the night before, are we allowed to put one of the big barrels out in that one spot? Because if the food trucks are paying to come, we need to make sure that that space is available for them.
I wouldn't see any problem with that, y'all.
I mean, it'd be after business, you know, after
Right.
the businesses have closed.
And I got a couple of comments, because I was the one that realized at the last festival that basically the way the food trucks had set up, it had turned Main Street right there in front of the bank parking lot into a one-lane road.
Okay,
Because you had a food truck going eastbound that was in the parallel parking spots.
okay,
And you had a food truck going, westbound, and you had another food truck going eastbound in front of the bank parking lot, which was the NA lane of traffic.
okay.
And that was the problem. Couple of suggestions, because the gentleman when I had him move his truck, he said he was supposed to be in front of City Hall, and you already had one in front of City Hall.
Yeah,
Well-
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Now, what I was gonna say is, one, you don't have on here, you need to know how large their food truck is. If it's just a trailer, if it's a trailer and a truck like this gentleman was, because between his truck and his trailer, he was over 45 feet long.
Okay. They're supposed to park their trailer, and that's a good thing for me to put in here, park your trailer and move your truck in an official parking spot.
Right, well, he had his generator in back of the truck and had them together. Anyway, we moved him and got him over in the parking lot. Fortunately, the bank had already closed and the parking lot was open, so I got him out of the street along with,
Brian wants.
I forget the officer who's on duty. No, it was one of the Watertown officers showed up. So one, you need to know the length of their vehicles.
Okay.
And two, if you're gonna use the spots in front of the old city hall, I think those need to be coned off or something the night before, because you do have people that live upstairs on that side of the square. And I think that's who had been parked there overnight. But there again, they own the building and they have an upstairs residence. I don't know how happy they're gonna be if you're taking their parking spots.
We hope not to. That's where the, Drew lives, or one of his residences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not occupied all the time, but sometimes that upstairs apartment is occupied, so. But that was the other part of the problem, is nobody blocked off any of the spots on the square the night before, and someone got there early or overnight, and therefore you had a problem on Saturday morning.
That's great, if we're allowed to block them off the night before, that's gonna alleviate a lot of problems. And then, see, that's the other thing.
I want to ask, why can't all these food trucks be put in one spot? Why are they gotta be scattered out and find a place for them?
I don't know.
Well,
That's a
because
question for these ladies.
a lot of the businesses don't want the food truck in front of their business because it.
Well, I mean, can't we find a spot somewhere? How many food trucks you gonna have? 5, 6?
Well, normally it'll just be 3 or less. If it's like the Marble on Yard Sale, that's when it would be a lot, but they have a section that's.
Well, it looked like we could find a spot where you put 3 food trucks in
Well,
one
We do,
spot.
we kind of have that solution right there that would only take up one parking spot, and that's by the gazebo. Nobody is supposed to park in front of the old city hall, correct? So,
Just put all the food trucks right there.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what we're doing, that's where the map shows.
They're talking about having 2 here and 1 there, and they're
I don't
across
put
the-
them all 3 right there, all of them right there in one spot.
Yes, sir.
And then the other thing that happened is when we have like a music festival and you've got the people coming in on the train, they're not necessarily going to bring chairs with them. You know, we talk about it in the paper, like, you know, bring your chair with you. But so at the music festival we had in July, even if Bob had bought the bleachers, and he didn't bring the bleachers because we didn't ask him, but even if he had them, there was people parked there. So we were going to see if the one, we're having the Bluegrass Festival on August 30th, if the night before, if the bleachers could get put out, so at least people have somewhere to sit to listen to the music.
I noticed that too. And I thought at least that center area, I don't think we should block off anything in front of the outside perimeter.
Oh, no, it's
But
just in front of the
that
gazebo.
city area,
Yeah.
that will hold the bleachers right there. There's what, 4 or 5 parking
It's been done in the
spots?
past.
We used
just-
to
And I
do
think,
it.
because I did notice that that was a problem. Yeah.
That's something y'all can do on Friday, on the 29th before you go home.
Yes, we're gonna bring the ones from the football field since soccer's over with.
Okay.
Set them down the floor.
That's
Okay.
wonderful, thank you, thank you.
Okay, I put it on the calendar.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then, the other thing is, it's time again for the train robbery. And this is a big one because it's the 25th anniversary of the train robbery coming. So, if it's still good, you know, we'll go with the same plan that we had in spring. That worked really well. And I'll get with Chief Henderlight about, you know, blocking it off for the hour so they can do the gunfight. I have spoken with the Gentry Desperados, and they're having John Wayne's grandson come. So that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, he's a,
champion goalie.
yes.
And then somebody that's like really good with.
Yeah, that's,
I
yeah.
don't remember his name, but,
Yes, so.
So when is this, sir?
So that is September 20th.
Okay.
And what they have asked is if, you know, if people, local people could dress up and our business owners on the square, they could dress up, like if we could all really embrace it with it being the anniversary, so. So that's what we have coming
Okay.
up.
You'll have publicity coming out in advance on that?
Yes, yes.
You have access to a paper, I
I
understand.
think so, I kind of know the owner, yes, so, yeah.
All right.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank y'all for coming.
Okay.
We got a young gentleman coming from the back that wants to speak to us about a nasty problem.
Yes, my name is Cody Blythe, all know me. I am from the Watertown City Works, you know. We're having a very big issue with people flushing wipes. They do not disintegrate. And when they hang up in the lines, you know, we do go and jet them out, but when they hang up 200 or 300 foot down the line, I have a hard time getting to them. Now, I did have a major blockage the other day that we had to cut the sewer in half. And it took us almost 2 hours to get it undone and back together. So is there any way, you know, we can get the message out that wipes don't need to be put in the toilet, they don't need to be flushed? Because if I have a major blockage, say, at the school or anything like that, I'm gonna have to shut a road down, dig the road up, pull the sewage pipe up and fix it. So if we can we just put tissue in the toilet per se, you know, and keep the wipes out?
It says on the container, cannot flush, so
Yes, it
they're not
does.
reading
And
that.
they
So
do
what,
not
they might not
disintegrate.
read what we
Yeah.
put out.
Because we actually had 5 calls in the same day when we
Yeah.
cut the sewer loose.
Can you tell what house it's coming from?
Yes.
Well,
Now, you're talking,
I'm
we're
opposed to
cleaning
finding
them
that.
out on city
Yes, sir.
property, we're not, but if they do that over on their side, it's up to them, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it would be up to them, or a plumber would have to come out
That's what I
and
meant.
do it per se. Now, we do help the elderly out, you know, around here, so,
Yep.
I mean, if they was to have a problem, I would address that, but once you stop the main up, everybody stops up from there.
Yep.
And then, you know, we're real busy at the city right now, trying to fix everything and get a lot of stuff done, so when we have to pull every guy that works for us on that one job, we're taking away from doing everything else around the city.
I mean, one of the things City of Las Vegas did is they put it right on the sewer bill. So is it yours, if you're, is evidence that you're responsible for a sudden blockage, that you may be charged for the cleaning.
I think that's a great idea.
But it was on their bill, so they recognize it as well.
Make a fine for flushing baby wipes.
Yeah, if we can get them.
Yeah, well,
Because
it'd be-
you can't like, see, you can tell where it's gonna be, ends up.
Yeah.
And I've worked many of those sewer crossings, they come backing out on the streets. And that's-
And I just don't want to block it with big main pipe, you know, because once it goes in there and it gets to Mr. Dale's portion of the sewer down there, we don't want it to hang up that.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I got for you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Anybody out in TV land?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, we will move on to the fire report. Would have been first tonight. The chief's not here. He told me he might not be here. You should have a report in there. I think, just going on memory, it had, this first time I can remember, we had 18 calls in the county and 18 in the city, 50-50. I believe that's when I hope I didn't dream that up. I don't have it in front of me. But anyway, you have that, nothing going on with them that I'm aware of. Is that what it was? Okay. Dale, you're up next with a sewer report?
Sure.
Looks like you're the only one to show tonight.
Last month I mentioned some issues with the pump station in the industrial park. We did order a replacement pump for that station. I haven't got it in yet, but we'll get that up and back running soon enough, I sense. Other than that, I don't have anything for you.
Any questions for Dale? Comments? Appreciate you. Thank you. I guess you echo what Cody said about the baby wipes.
Yeah, it's been a problem. And it's not just a Watertown problem, it's a
It's everywhere.
nationwide problem. And
It's everywhere. Comes back to laziness.
yeah, I talked to Bob, and I'm gonna see if I can draft some letters up to send to some homeowners, and if we can figure out who they are, send them letters, and if it's a continuing problem, I don't mind declaring a nuisance and disconnecting them, cut the water off.
You might want to word the letter, don't let Bob.
The problem is finding out where it's coming from. It's hard to tell where it's coming from once it gets in the sewer.
Yeah, it is. All right, and I don't know where Chief Hinderlight is tonight. He sent me an email today. He didn't say anything about not being here, but
His truck was there earlier. I don't know if he got in the middle of the call or not.
Could
His
have.
truck was over there.
they're pretty busy too. But he put a report in there, and I don't know of any problems, and
I do think that he hired and filled his last position, open position.
he did, and then we had an officer get hurt night before last, and a chief referred to it as an incident. I'm assuming it's some type of scrap. But, he's not seriously hurt, but he was gonna be out a few days, so. Okay, let me go into, some items we need to deal with tonight. Let me say first, April has been working solo since April. April's been working since April. And I have hired somebody to begin Monday. Her name is Tamara Oakley. Did I say that right? She was going to start Monday. She gave her 2 weeks notice. She is going to work part-time. She will work 30 hours a week, except for on the times when April is off or if she goes on vacation, at which time she'll work all week, 40 hours. Obviously, there's a reason for the cutoff there because we don't have to provide health insurance. And I have received word in the last couple of days. I investigated this in the spring, but we didn't get anywhere. But Brenna has let me know that they have a young lady who's interested in working part-time. So I'm gonna talk to her about maybe working the other 10 hours of the week. And then that way it'll leave us 2 people on duty and give April some relief. You know, we've heard how busy it is with the police and everybody else. It's really busy in this office now because we have got so many projects going on that she's having to manage money, keep it separated, and that's a challenge. It's a challenge. So hopefully, but now Ms. Oakley will be hired on a 90-day probation, and she is a resident of. I hope she doesn't mind me giving her address. She's a resident of Church Street, so she lives in town.
That was one of the things I was gonna say when it was my time to talk tonight, but I received a message that just said they wanted to brag on Miss April and said, I just want you to know that when I call or have to come by City Hall, I'm greeted with nothing but kindness. She knows what she's doing. She's efficient. If she doesn't know, she gets back to us in time. And she said, as a council member, I just wanted you to know what a gym y'all have up there at City Hall. So I was gonna brag at my time, so thank you, Miss April.
That doesn't mean you can call in sick tomorrow. Yeah. I just don't do it the first day, leave that girl in here by herself.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, they're back coming up. That's right.
She's got some time built up for vacation. Hopefully she'll be able to take it soon. But the young lady that's coming in needs a couple of weeks to get acclimated. And I will keep you posted on the, and I don't know what the young lady's name is, the student, but she wants to do the work sharing type thing, so. And we have a young man that does that for us that helps Cody and them in the summer, full time, and then he works, 8 or 10 hours a week when he gets off school, doesn't he come over after school?
Well, he don't right now, but when fall break comes back in, he's gonna go back and help.
Okay, he's a good worker and a good helper, so. We've been fortunate to have some good young people work for us that are workers, not just hangers-on. We got our letter from the state of Tennessee. Our budget for this year has been approved, and it was conditionally approved, and the only reason they put a condition on it is because we still have a fight going on with the Tennessee T-Board, T-B-O-U-R. J.C. York and I had to go down there on the 17th of July. It started at 9 o'clock and they got to us at 3:30. We had to sit there for 6.5 hours. And the reason they had us down there was for two things we were supposed to have done by such and such a date, and we did them both on time. And it was there, as far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't have had to have been there. But we were, and now we got an order in yesterday. One of the two things we did, April did it. She took the information, prepared the report, and sent it in a timely manner, and their objection is we didn't have a third party do it. And the order said, I know I'm on TV, but the order said if we didn't have that in by October 31st, I could be subpoenaed again. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. They may have to come get me if that happens. Because she did her job, she did it for us. And there was, all the third party's gonna do is take her work and transfer it onto there and send it in, so. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Y'all know I usually fuss about one thing each month. That's it, hopefully. I sent out some stuff to you. The sewer project is ongoing. I have visited with the contractor's mother at the fair a couple of times, and she was asking about it, and I told her to please. I asked her. I'm conscious you don't tell a woman anything. I'm right. I asked her to encourage those people. I said, the folks on Commerce Avenue have been inconvenienced long enough, and they need to get busy and get that done. And I know there's a lot of rock down there, but that shouldn't surprise anybody. There's a lot of rock in Wilson County. So hopefully they're gonna get that, and they need to be in that creek doing what they gotta do down there while it's dry. And it's only gonna, we'll have a dry month this month and maybe next month, and then we'll start getting more rain. So I hope that they'll move on with that. But that's pretty much the sewer report right now. But we do have several things going on for water. Steve Jones, when we were here the other day, we had the pre-construction conference on the water tank work that's going to be done. That's going to be a major project. They're going to take the water tank that sits up on the hill that probably nobody pays any attention to it because it works and we've never had any problems, but it has to be rehabbed, and it hasn't been rehabbed totally in many, many years. Now there's been some partial rehabs done over from time to time, so that will be done. I signed the notice to proceed August 26th or shortly thereafter. And they hope to have that done by sometime in mid-November. Going to be a little nervous while that's going on, just in case we don't want to have a big fire. We'll have water, it will be working. You shouldn't You go to the faucet, the water should come out. But if we have a problem where it's a major drain on our supply, we've got the emergency connection to the Wilson County Water Authority, and they've assured us they'll take care of what we need. So I'm anxious for it to get done. Now, they have asked, what color do we want to paint the water tank? Why are you laughing? You know where I'm headed, don't you? What y'all's feeling? I told them we would present it to the council and get a vote on it.
As long as it's not orange, it'll be okay.
Well, that was suggested, and you'd be happy to know I vetoed that.
Yeah, I know.
I read it either for this.
Yeah, I saw the email.
Georgia.
We're not going red or gold or orange.
That's right, but I think it'd be kind of neat to have it purple.
I think
If
so
they can
too.
get the right color purples. I told them, I don't want lilac or something like that, we need that deep purple.
I liked the suggestion from Bob that came out in your email, that if we can get the Watertown purple with a white W on the side of the tank, it's simple, tasteful, and the reverse of that might work well too, white with a purple W. However, if you paint the entire tank white, it's gonna show dirt very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think the purple tank with the white W would serve us well and not appear to be dirty within 3 months of it being painted.
Yeah, we discussed the white, it probably wasn't realistic because of the dirt problem. All right, what's the pleasure of the council?
I make a motion to paint purple with a white W.
With the right color purple?
Right color purple.
Has to be approved.
Watertown purple.
Have to what?
Be approved by you.
Or
has to be approved by somebody.
I don't know what color to paint walls in my house, okay?
It needs to be approved by somebody, not
I'm
just
gonna
the
suggest to them that they go to the high school and get a football helmet and take it to where they're getting the paint and see if they can match it up.
Yeah, that would be a good color match to the helmet.
Yes.
Doesn't the high school have stickers of the tire, that color?
Yeah, or purple. I don't know.
Or they might have the paint, actual paint coat number, like in the high school that they painted.
Yeah, somebody there will have.
It's a mixture, it's not a
Oh,
pure,
yes.
they have to, I believe they have to mix,
They have the tint.
but I don't know. Yeah, Cody?
We actually get that, purple, or Watertown purple that we painted the dugouts with.
Uh-huh.
It comes from Lebanon Distributed.
Okay, well, that's good. We do a lot of business with it. All right, got a motion to do that, and a second?
Motion, I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Gonna be hard to vote against that, guys. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. That's a fun thing. When we were, when we had the pre-construction conference, Steve Jones, our engineer, made us aware of 2 other grant possibilities that will become available. One is a lead abatement grant. We have lead in our pipes in a lot of places here, and this will help alleviate some of it if we can get it. And the other one is a planning infrastructure grant. So one of those was no match. It was all grant money, and the other was a $10,000 match, which we have the money for. So I'm going to recommend to you that we do both of those, that we apply for them. We don't have them, but to apply. And one of them's got to be applied for by August 31st. The other one by October 1st. I don't remember which is which. But Amy Napoli with the Greater Nashville Regional Council is going to make the grant applications for us. And there's a fee of $750, which is very reasonable. If you've ever done one of those, you don't have to fill that
Is
paperwork.
that for both of them?
Yeah.
750 each.
I think it's for both. So I'm going to recommend to you that we apply for both those grants.
I make a motion that we apply for both of those grants. Do we have to do 2 to pay Amy and that, or just?
You want to
apply
make
for
it
those
part of
grants
it? The hire-
with- Yes.
But hire her to do it? Yeah, okay. All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, Opposed? All right, that carries, and I'll try to let Steve and Amy know tomorrow, because tomorrow's the 20th. There was also something she sent out to me, it looked like a third grant. It was some type of asset management plan, which almost sounds like some type of inventory plan. But I don't have enough details on that to present it to you tonight, so I won't. And final thing under water that I know of is the Rye engineering contract for some water system improvements. It's all a part of this $899,000 grant. It's doing the water tank, it's doing some improvements in the plant over here. Rye Engineering was the only company that submitted qualifications to do the job, so we have to accept their qualifications, subject to them giving us a contract. We're not voting on the contract, so we know what it is. But, I've dealt with Rye over the last couple of years. We have as well. So I'm gonna ask you to accept them as to handle the project, subject to giving us a contract we can live with. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
You need a motion to
Please.
accept Rye as our contractee on the tank.
Yeah,
Let
me see,
Subject to their
I'm trying to,
cost estimate.
yeah, what they'll be helping us with is water treatment plant improvements. So that's what,
I'll make a motion for Rye to give us a contract on the water treatment plant.
okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, carries unanimously. We have got, as I mentioned a while ago, in the context of what April does, we've got a lot going on. And it's all right. It's all right. It's time consuming. It is for her and it is for me. And I'm glad she's where she is. Makes it easier for me. Street paving, nothing we can do on it till we get all that stuff done. But I hope everybody will just bear with us and we'll get there. But it's not gonna be this year. Because the sewer project's not gonna be done and some of these water things won't be done. And then finally, our turntable project, we've got another conference call with the federal people Thursday morning at 11, I think it is, Steve. And they'll tell us where we are on the process. So it's moving pretty quickly. And I guess that's really all I have to report to you on the sewer, water, street paving, and turntable. Had on here tonight to approve the sale of some surplus property. This would have been football helmets, shoulder pads from our youth league that are outdated, or you can only use them so many years without them being refurbished. And Jeff Tunks is gonna get me a list of those or how many they are, but I don't have it tonight, so he asked me to defer it until September. So we'll be selling some surplus property. I've already mentioned we had the treatment plant bid opening on August the 12th. I had on the agenda a report on the recent men's league. I'll hold that until September as well. I do have 3 issues left that I need to discuss with you. I guess first is the burn pile. You know, we got a complaint a couple of years ago and people were taking stuff that doesn't burn over there. And we got a complaint from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, rightfully so. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be a dumping place. So we cleaned that up and limited it to brush. And y'all know we've discussed it many meetings where I think we wound up opening a couple of days a week, maybe one half day and another half day or whatever, where people could bring their brush and bring it over here, and then we'd burn it from time to time. Well, somebody complained about that. And of course, they won't tell you who, but I know who, but I'm not gonna say public. But anyway, they came out and said there is a regulation that says we can burn our brush, but we can't burn anybody else's. And my question back to them in a real official letter was, how do you tell it apart? How do you know where the limbs came from unless somebody seen one in there? All the limbs look alike.
You are nicer than I was.
Yeah. So I never did get a response to that. I didn't get a request to sit down and discuss it. What I got was a letter back saying, we're not going to proceed any further with your notice of violation. We're not going to pursue it any further. Okay, where does that leave us? They didn't say about bringing more brush. So I don't exactly know how to handle that, because I'm pretty sure that the next time somebody pulls over here with a trailer with a load of brush where they've cut their shrubs or whatever, we're gonna get reported. But we've had, what, April, about 5 people wanna know when the burn pile's gonna open back up?
Yes.
So I guess my question to y'all is, what do you wanna do?
It is one person causing grief for the rest of the whole city.
It is.
It is one.
It is one, as far as I know it.
It's causing people to have to burn in their yards.
And they can't do that.
Well, it's
That's what,
happening.
I know, but they tell us we can't.
Because, I mean, somebody with asthma, they
Yeah.
can't sit outside because their next door neighbor's burning brush. But you don't blame them, because it's gotta go somewhere.
It's gotta go somewhere.
I
And-
guess we could write them and ask them what they want us to have as a certified area to burn brush from other areas in our, which I still don't understand, because I couldn't find, their stuff was very murky on what I read on, everything I could read was how to tell what a certified area is and how the certified area would be and how you would even change that. The only thing I seen about it was location away from certain other things. And I believe that passes all of that.
It does.
So,
It's gotta be like 250 feet away, and it's.
What does Lebanon do when they go, and 2 times a year, they go and collect the brush? People can put their brush out on the road.
They take it to the landfill. When they have their spring cleanup, they take it to the landfill, the county.
But they're collecting people's stuff.
They
They're
are,
not
but
burning.
the county is a
Okay, they don't burn.
landfill, well, the landfill is a certified,
Yeah.
approved by TDEC. So,
yeah, the landfill does the methane gas burning treatment plant, so they burn everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
so I don't know exactly what to do. I know I can go back, Kyle, and approach them, and they're not gonna give me an answer.
I don't think they have one, honestly. That's part of the problem.
Yeah,
So,
so,
I'm not sure what the fine actually can be if there's no proof of what's been done either. One of those great awkward areas.
They could take pictures of me pulling in there. and
That would be the only way they'd do it.
but they don't know if you're not hauling for
For
us.
the city, you're right.
Yeah.
And
But that's the only thing I know that how they
Yeah,
would
they'd
try
have to
to
have
justify.
a surveillance on it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I think this is the type of stuff that gives government a bad name.
absolutely.
You know, I understood when we had people hauling, not trash, but they were hauling pipes and stuff in. And that shouldn't have been happening. And we stopped it. Once they told us we had to, we stopped it. But hauling brush in, it's gotta be more important. Well, for instance, every night there's something on the news about storm water or sewer water or something running into the lake or the river. That seems to me to be a lot more important than people burning trash, burning brush. But,
No, this literally is the problem caused by one person to.
It is.
To hurt the whole city, so.
it is. And it's the only one I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure of, okay?
Can we haul the brush, like, city pick it up?
I thought about that too.
We would have to hire other people.
Well, I mean, we've got a dump
We
truck.
don't have enough people right now to.
I mean, we might have to hire somebody part-time just to pick up brush, but that,
I think we should contact them one more time and ask for a rules of engagement on what we have to do to burn stuff in the city on our dime.
Okay.
That way, because that's by far the cheaper method of doing any of that regardless. And Burning brush is very clean and efficient, I mean,
Well,
this is a picking battle at this
I
point.
will do that. I'll write him back
I
and
can
thank
write
him for
them
the
too.
letter,
I'll
not
write.
to pursue it, but now tell me.
If we all write
What
them
we can
one
do.
time, then all of us have an email out to them about that, and so you should answer someone back. If they don't, then that's kind of a, rules and regulations aren't mattering if they're not going to respond to you.
All right, what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna contact them again, but in the meantime, the burn pile's probably gonna have to stay closed for third-party use. Now, if our guys wanna go pick up some brush somewhere, mix it in with ours,
One of the things I never got a chance to thank the city, we cut an old tree down at our church, and these guys are really, they came over, picked it up and hauled it right to the golf course. I'm talking an old oak tree that just died right next to the street. So we were trying to get it all done, and they came and helped us, took it, they picked it up and took it over there for us.
Yeah.
So, but
We
that's
d-
for our church.
we've done a lot of that over the
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
and don't mind doing it when we have
Yeah,
availability.
time, yeah.
But, all right, I'll write that, and in the meantime, Cody, y'all kinda, we'll talk about it in the morning. Okay, you brought an issue about the food trucks.
Yeah, I just wanted us to think about it because I've had, I guess, 3 trucks now come to me and say Watertown is the most expensive place in the county to bring a food truck. Lebanon and Mount Juliet have both reduced their price. Mount Juliet due to a lawsuit, Lebanon following Mount Juliet suit. So it's just $100 a year. $100 a day, $100 a year, it doesn't matter, it's $100 fee. And they're like, we pay double that, plus you have to get the permit and the inspection, then you have to buy the year permit. So it's quite costly, about $500 to get a Watertown,
Well,
to have a food truck in Watertown.
actually, Lebanon and Mount Juliet both require you to have a health inspection, just like we do.
Yes.
So and that cost is not just in Watertown. I mean, if they've got a health inspection from Mount Juliet, we'll accept that. They just have to have a current health inspection.
Sure.
So they're gonna have that regardless. There are some things, and I had a conversation with April the other week about this. I do think we need to readdress, we got an exception in there for twice a year, which that's confusing. I think we need to look at that and possibly change that and maybe make the exception be for the yard sale only, for those 2 days a year. Because that's our big days. We have a lot of food trucks that we would waive the city permit requirement on anyone for those, that's coming in for that event. That was one idea I had. And I also had someone approach me about there are some, I didn't know this, apparently there are some retirees that the lady likes to bake, and from my understanding, creates some pretty good baked goods. And they're not really in it as a business. She's in it to stay busy in retirement. So I was thinking if we could consider possibly putting if the owner and operator of a food truck is over the age of 65, like we give the tax break on the property tax, we could give a break on, on the food truck permit for them, because it's one particular lady who did fairly well the couple of times she was here, but when she clearly couldn't justify the cost of the permit because it's a hobby for her. And
I wasn't being rude. Chief Hunterlight texted and said he was on a call. That's why he wasn't here. Wanted to know if he needed to come over, and I said, no. Nobody got
I
my
think
email.
I expressed my opinion on this when we started this. We had about 6 or 7 food trucks coming to Watertown, and they were benefiting a lot of people that were getting a sandwich or whatever. And we went up on this prices, and went all through all these things that they gotta do to come here, and we've lost them all now, I think, except one. And that's Sweet Pig, the barbecue. I think he's the only one's coming. And they've gone up quite a bit on their prices, because I talked to the guy and he said, well, somebody's got to pay for this, the fees.
And then if they're coming to other things like this, they're paying an additional $75, or they come to the Mile Long Yard Sale, they're paying an additional, like, we just gotta take a break, because we enjoy having the diversity in options here, I do. And we just, I know when we did it, we were comparing it to the other cities, and we were right along with them, but they've changed, and I know we have to change.
Well, y'all talked about several different things here, price, number one, exceptions, number two, and another requirement in there, and I don't know whether people are doing it or not, but they're required to provide us proof of insurance up to $1 million. And
But
I
they
don't know
need
if
to,
we
the
did
other
that or not.
cities do.
And it said
Yeah.
Lebanon and Mount Juliet have that same requirement.
Yeah.
Ours looks
I'd like to
compared the other two.
I'd like to see us form a committee or whatever and sit down and work this out where we can get these food trucks back and
I think we should change the price.
rework the prices.
I recommend fixing the price part tonight. If everybody else is $100 annually,
Annually or daily, it doesn't matter.
I know, but once you buy it, you got it for a year, whether you use it or not. All right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I am too.
Now, the people that have already got one and paid for it, they're not gonna get a rebate,
No.
okay? That's just like, I fill my car up with gas tonight and it may go down tomorrow, they don't.
But their voice is
Yeah.
heard for next year, they're getting the benefit.
Yeah, so I'm okay if y'all wanna make a motion, and not that I have to be, but I vote for it, that's what I mean. If y'all wanna reduce that to $100 fee annually, with everything else in our ordinance staying the way it is right now until we can look at it.
Just to clarify, all fees are being done away with and changed to one option, which is an annual fee of $100, no other options.
No other,
Because right now, we have a staggered option in there.
yeah.
So, okay.
And we have people that were calling, and I know April dealt with this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and they wanted, one of the prices for one day, or for a week or whatever, and she said, why don't you just buy the annual? And no, they didn't want to do that, so, this way it'll make it easy for them,
Yeah.
to make that decision.
I'll make a motion that we charge $100 a year.
Okay.
One price.
I second that with no other changes. We still keep the health inspection, that doesn't change, just the annual permit to set.
That's all we're doing tonight.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
And I'm okay with the 2 days free, because we have that in our thing too. But I'm okay if we say the 2 days are the Mile Long Yard Sale. Because it's hard for it's
Okay.
hard for the chamber, it's hard for, the Mile Long Yard Sale people, it's hard for our police officers to man. Was this
Yeah.
your first day or your second day?
That will simplify it greatly.
And it's just the Mile Long Yard Sale day is your freebie pass. Any other time you have to have the $100 permit.
Okay, so we'll be going to
We're gonna
$100
change
that, all right.
Yeah, we're changing 2 things.
Y'all, you okay with that?
I'm
your
okay
motion?
with that.
And you okay in a second? Any discussion around the table? Man, we're a progressive group.
Now, Mile Long Yard Sale still has to have, they still have to sign the same forms. They have to have,
Yeah, the
Insurance,
chamber
etc.
the chamber requires that too. Because they kind of take over, the chamber does, for the Mile Long Yard Sale event, and they're requiring everything that we require, they're requiring that information too.
And we're requiring everything that y'all require.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
so,
I would protect myself.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful world we live in where everybody can sue anybody they want to.
That's why the importance of this is that we work hand in hand.
Right, and the purpose of those other regulations, as far as the health and the insurance, that is, like you said, simply to protect the city and our citizens from any kind of lawsuit, because The last thing we want is somebody coming here that's selling bad chicken and makes 20 people sick and kind of find out they didn't have a health permit. You know, we can be.
Or insurance.
Or insurance. So that's why I think all the cities have those regulations in their ordinance. So,
All right, you ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's unanimous. One more thing I've got that is an action item. We repaired this room several years ago. Lisa Baines got us all this floor work for nothing. All we had to do was get it put down. We painted this, we stopped people from, you know, we had people who were doing birthday parties, pin the tail on the donkey and putting the donkey on the wall and that type of thing, and we had trouble. So we stopped that. And COVID came along about that time too, and that made it a little easier. We've always had governmental use, our meetings, beer board, planning commission, board of zoning appeals, chamber meetings,
city court.
city court, probably a couple other things. I've had a request, y'all probably gonna laugh at me. We've had a request, April, make sure I tell this right. But there's a group of about 5 or 6 women who do quilting, who wanna meet here every so often and do quilting. Now, I'm okay with that. They're not likely to be hanging from the
We let the senior
Ceiling.
citizens do it.
we let senior citizens use it, yeah. But we're getting into an area a little bit, I guess, I don't know if they sell their quilts or not. We kind of had we stopped people from using it and making money off of it. I'm okay with the ladies doing their quilting. What was it, April, once a month?
I think they want to do once a week, but they was doing the event room, but it's too dark. They need more room.
Yeah, they need a light.
And it's just a couple ladies, I think it's from 5:30 to 9:30 at night, once a week maybe.
That might be a bit much, because that may interfere with a lot of things, you know.
But they said if anything else was going on, like I told them, we had board meetings, different things going on in the city, they said that they wouldn't do it that way.
Who would lock up after that at 9 o'clock at night?
Do what
Who
now?
would lock up after them at 9 o'clock at night? Who's-
Well, probably the police or whatever, but
We have to keep off.
what would concern me about that is they decide they wanted to meet, say on a Tuesday night, and we have a planning commission meeting, and we tell whoever's in charge, but it doesn't get out to everybody, and all of a sudden you got people coming here with their
I
quilting
think
stuff.
she said they would like maybe Wednesday nights.
Well, I'm not opposed, I'm just one vote,
Once a month.
but once a week seems a bit much. And my fear is we're gonna get hit by somebody else saying, well, I've got a club that I do this, and somebody else, I've got a club that we do this, and we hadn't really let clubs other than the senior citizens, I don't think. So I'm kind of open to suggestions of how to be fair, but not to open it back up. We don't need to have this place being used and abused, for lack of a better term.
It'd be coming to us either way, so it'd be via approval regardless, right?
Do what now?
So it'd be via approval regardless. It'd
Yeah.
come to us, so even if we let them and it doesn't work out, or if it becomes something else, and it can always change.
The question always becomes fairness, why are you letting this group as opposed to this one, and certainly in a small town.
But
people
even
get
once a
confused,
week,
so-
that's at their discretion. Their job is to call April and find out if it's being used that night. And if they show up and it's being used, I'm sorry, you should have called. That's,
Well, I don't know if too many people use it on Wednesday
I don't
night.
either.
What if we said every other Wednesday night?
But they need to call you.
That's kind of a compromise.
I was thinking, I was gonna propose a compromise of twice a month.
Okay,
Whether it be every other Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays back to back, that's for, let them,
2 Wednesdays a month.
two Wednesdays a month was gonna be, I was gonna make that suggestion before you said twice a month, or
Cool. I'm good with that. You want to make that motion, form of a motion?
Yeah, I'll put that in form of a motion that we approve the quilting ladies to use this room, 2 Wednesdays a month, as long as it doesn't conflict with any other official functions of the city that are occurring in this facility.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
I assume the part of it's no alcohol, no staying over here all night, that kind of stuff. That's a joke.
Well, yeah, but
It's meant to be a joke, okay?
having done quilting before when I was a kid, actually, with my grandmother, alcohol and quilting doesn't mix well because people get,
Most of the time it doesn't mix well with anything. All right, did we vote on that? We didn't, did we? All in favor, say aye. Okay, just some informational items. You'll see some stuff go up over on the square during the month of September. We participate in the suicide prevention awareness project during the month of September, and you'll see the trellis go up. It's got ribbons on it, and it's got a place for you to put something on there in memory of somebody that was a victim of suicide. So when you see that, we've had a problem once or twice with people tearing it down, but hopefully that won't be a problem this time. At Cody, that'll be coming along. I think Bob already knows about it, I think. We're gonna do our September 11 thing on September 11, like we've always done. And I am looking for a speaker. So if y'all know somebody that will come in and speak to us for 8 or 10 minutes, that event usually lasts about 45 minutes during lunchtime. Watertown,
I have a suggestion.
shoot.
Brian Wilson, he was a part of it. He worked for Fox. He was on the grounds of the Capitol when everything hit.
Okay.
And
He-
they thought that the Capitol was going to be
Yeah.
next. He is the chamber president,
Uh-huh.
but he can give a speech and he can tell some stories.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'll follow up on that. We limit the speaker to about 8 to 10 minutes. We have the choir, the Watertown High School choir, the Watertown High School band, and then we have cake at the end. Who is it provides the cake, April?
Cash Express.
Cash Express. They've been doing that for years. And we recognize our local people who are involved in emergency services. And our next meeting will be September 16th at 6 o'clock. That is the third Tuesday, about the earliest it can be in the month, except for one day. So now we're ready to go around the table. That's all I've got. I'm ready to go around the table. Hal?
Don't have anything.
Stephen?
I don't have anything, and what date was that in September?
September 16th.
Okay, and I will not be present next month. I will be out of town that day.
Okay, do y'all want to talk about doing another night? I'm
If
open
he's not
to
gonna
that.
be here, then I will open it up. That's Daddy's birthday, and it's his big birthday.
That is who?
My dad's big birthday.
Oh,
And I was gonna choose council, but if you're not gonna be
Well,
here,
I-
then.
all right.
I'm gonna be out of town on a business obligation, and I've already got plane tickets, so mine's not changing.
Listen, y'all don't have to explain that. We've talked about that, and y'all have heard me say this for years and years, probably ad nauseum, that family comes first.
Now, we might be at
Family
volleyball
always
that night,
comes
I promise, he'll choose, but I'd rather spend it with him.
Okay. And big birthday is in like
It is
50.
a- yeah. I'll be 50.
He's a former councilman,
He
so,
is, I'm
yeah,
third generation.
you are.
I am third generation.
All right, so we're kind of talking about that not being the night. So make me a suggestion. I can't on Monday the 15th because that's county commission night. I have obligations there. But if you want to go to the next Tuesday, the 23rd,
Third,
That's fine.
Caleb, sometimes you have to say.
does that work for everybody?
That'll
Okay.
work, yeah.
23rd.
All right,
Thank y'all.
September 23rd. All right, now listen, let me reiterate. Anytime you've got something going on with family or whatever and you need to be out of here, or if we can't get a quorum or it gets close, we're gonna yield to family. And the other thing we do is we yield, many times to school stuff. If there's something going on, you know, when our kids have made it to the state tournament or something like that, we support the school. So I'm fine with doing that. I just have to remember to put it on my calendar tomorrow. All right, anything else? Ms. Laura, you got that notebook out, that worries me.
I just needed to brag on Miss April, I've already marked it off my list.
Okay, all right, you've done it. Kyle?
The City Hall, they're done doing what they were doing over there? Is-
No, we're not, and we're probably gonna slow down for a few days. We've had a couple of our guys get sick, and we're a little concerned about what they're breathing in there, as hot as it is. I'm hearing that the weather next week may drop down to high 70s, low 80s. We'll get back on that. But,
Y'all need to help somebody,
so-
if I can help.
I don't wanna give away people's medical conditions,
Yeah.
but Bob and Cody's dad have both been
Yeah.
under the weather and
We
pretty
need,
seriously.
if we start cleaning it out again, we need somewhere to throw everything away.
In a dumpster?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not in the burn pile.
No,
Could
but
we,
yeah, we need something to throw it away, that way we can discard everything.
can we rent a dumpster from Lee still? They still do it, don't they?
We could probably do that.
So they just like a shoot off the window, right down the side street.
We'll get him something.
Yeah.
All right, but that's the reason,
Yeah.
that's really not
No,
telling.
that's good.
All right, got anything else?
Yeah.
Caleb? Well, and April, the councilwoman, is not here. She is dealing with a family matter, and that's, as I say, that's good. I know everybody, when they can't be here, hates to give up the big check you get for doing this job. Anybody out in TV land that wants to talk? Yes, sir. Okay, well, I'm ready for one motion. The good one.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
One second.
All right, all in favor, get up and go home, or go wherever you want to.
Aye.